Welcome back, Trackies. Brianna versus Brianna versus Kevona versus Tina. Trackies, what is happening here? Over the weekend, we got to see all of these ladies hit the track in the 60 meters. And one big thing, my big takeaway from this is that my mind is blown. I do not know which way the tide will go. I do not know who will come out on top, but I am so excited to dig into everybody's race and see where each of these athletes stand. Now, track is before I go in depth on each athlete. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and of course, turn on your post notifications so you're aware each time we drop a video. Now I'm going to start with the younger youngsters. So we have Brianna Liston and Tina Clayton. They ran 7:29 and 7:24 this week in the 60-meter indoors. And I think they're both 18 going on 19, are they? Thereabouts. And then we have the 221-year-olds in Kevona Davis and Brianna Williams running 7:19 and 7:22. Now, track is this is the generation that T was speaking about in her earlier video this week that will be looking to replace the likes of Elaine, Shelly, Sharika, when they choose to retire. And the depth, insane. T, I know you spoke this week you spoke about their performances individually, but tell me, do you see any one of them who is ahead in this race for the next?
You know what? You are trying to get me in trouble off the bat. You're a troublemaker. Oh my God. Let me just say this. There's this one troublemaker that always comes into our comment section and says, "Oh, this was 7:24. This was 7:29. The time wasn't impressive." And I'm like, you know, these athletes show Jamaica's depth in the sprints. These athletes that are out there competing with the best of your athletes and can remain competitive are our athletes that are waiting in the wings. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So I'm like, you're in their mouthing now, talking about, oh, the time isn't this and the time isn't that. I'm like, listen, when the time is ready, these athletes are going to step up and step into the slots that are waiting for them from, our absolutely, phenomenal three that we have now, the Jamaican wall that I've dubbed them recently. So, I mean, our depth is insane and I just love it. Crazy, crazy. Who is ahead? Okay.
I mean,
Let's see.
Brianna, I just wanted
Brianna.
to say that Brianna's times from last year speak for themselves as far as what we know she's capable of. We saw her in the indoors in that blanket finish. So there's
The
that to consider.
7:04, right? Yeah. So where's in terms of who is better, are we talking about the 100 or are we talking about the 60?
We're speaking about the 100 here. So it's the 100. So what the 60
All
meters
right.
kind of translates into what we can look to see in the 100 meters.
I think there's an advantage because a few of the athletes might be older than others. That doesn't necessarily mean they're quote unquote better because if you drop them maybe at the same age, then you may see a different athlete. But since we're in this particular moment, what I will say, I won't say I'm not going to point out who I think is quote unquote better than the other, but what I will say is that based on Tina's run this
I mean,
weekend,
making
I
short work of
thought
Natasha Morrison and Shakura Wallace.
making short work of them. I could not believe. You remember I talked about how there's no way in my mind Sherika lost to Anthony Strawn? You
Mhm.
know, that's the vibe I would say. That's where Sherika would be in my mind when you're talking about constructing a race. So there's no way she'll be losing to these girls. So that's why I know that race. I mean, they're not showing their hand there. But as it relates to Tina, um, in for me, if she had gone to the finals, that was at most, or at least, depending which is it, at least 7.15
Yes,
I
because
would be getting.
personally in Tina's race, I felt like she was just getting into the race when the line came. Like
Yeah.
the race,
That
not
no, I don't
ahead
think that
as she
she was. I
was
think she was
getting.
doing enough to qualify. I
Right.
think she was cognizant of the person next to her, so she was doing enough to beat that person, but still not doing too much. So even when she eased down, she thought she had her covered and everything, and she ended up placing behind her, kind of thing. But even that, I'm just saying, just looking at her entire, execution throughout the round, I thought that if she had said that was the only race and she was going to pull out all stops in that race, I was thinking a 7.15. No, a 7.15, for her first year going pro, first ever indoor, that is absolutely phenomenal. It can't be compared against what any other athlete has done this weekend, or at their age. I just think Tina looks absolutely good. I think I remember saying in the video that I did that. I don't know if you had said in our video before who was making the team, but I'm like, listen, anybody thinking that she's not going to try to make this senior team is surely mistaken.
Right, because the thing with
Surely.
Tina, I was looking at her run, and it's a sheer power. The form, there's still she still needs to work on her form a lot. However, the sheer power. Then I think about Veronica Campbell Brown, all those world championship and Olympic gold medals, and her form never she never quite perfected her form. So
Once you want it, you'll get it. But
yes,
she's
so
at Steven,
that's
so
fine
that's
totally
gonna be fixed.
beyond.
I have no question about that in my mind.
Right. So
But
right for
my
me, I just
biggest thing
wanted to.
was, remember we talked about those 10-8s that you have to get into if you're looking to make that team, right? T- Tina, in my mind right now, is a 10-8 athlete. Maybe as the season progresses, I'll see a faster time. I'm not sure. But for now, it's a 10-8, which means that it's not, Brianna isn't competing with only Kemba for that quote unquote slots, or against Elaine and Sherika as well. We have to throw them in because there's nothing guaranteed, right? But there she's also right there with them, wanting that slot for an individual slot to the world championships. I strongly believe that Tina has a good shot at it. Now, as it relates to Kevona, we talked about her in our video, in another video before, saying that based on what she's doing this so far this season, she's a much better Kevona than she was last season. And we all know indoors is not Kevona's thing, right? And she still has her start issues as well. So come outdoors though, I'm thinking that her times will drop as well, as it relates to the 100 meters. Not I'm not necessarily sure about the 200, because what happened with that 200. The 100 was at the same place, I think, but it's probably more likely to equal or eclipse that time more than the 200, I'm thinking, right? Because that 200, what was it? 22.26 was a really good time. Anyway,
She ran 20.
with
They
that
trying
said,
to. Oh, you said a 200, right?
yeah. So if Kevona is also a better Kevona, right? Kevona can possibly also get into the 10-8 this season. Another athlete that will be taking a shot at a spot on the individual team, right? Let's go over to Brianna. I did that video talking Brianna up last year, saying, girl, the Brianna you look like so she can run 1:10.8 the season here, right? So let's talk about her particular 60. That was a 7.29, right? But she also looked easy. It was just a stroll. She led from start to finish. And don't forget, I have been harping it, and I said, Brianna, because of all the positives she left Heidel with technically, she was going to go to LSU and hit the ground running. And so said, as I will say, so done. She has hit the ground running. That 7.29 looked to me like it was a 7.1 time, right? 7.1. So Brianna running is 7.1. Then we have to flip to see what possibly that would mean on the 100-meter side. Okay, we all know that she's at what it's 11.14,
Mm-hmm.
or was it 1.1? One of
No,
those times.
it's 1-3 or 1-4.
I think Serena is the 1.3, so it's probably 1.4,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what I like to look at is that race between her and Tina at Champs. That race to me was a sub 11 race. Now we all know that she didn't run the 100 meters after that, so there was no way for us to know if she would be able to keep up with Tina, or did Tina just get drastically better than her, right? But in my mind, she's still somewhere around the same as Tina. The only difference is now Tina has gone pro, getting pro, training versus her getting collegiate training. Will she be able to step into that sub 11? Possibly stepping into sub 11. I definitely see it. I don't know if she'll be able to get into 10-8. It's her first season. Let's see how that goes. But also looking fantastic. Also looking fantastic. Looking to get into sub 11 in my mind. Next up, of course, is Brianna Williams. So Brianna Williams has always been our number 4 girl. Last year she missed out on that slot, and this year she's coming back with hunger and vengeance to get that spot back. Changing coaches, just the level she's gonna go to make sure she attains her goals. Now she's coming out telling us that she wants to run 10 sevens and 10 8s consistently, meaning that she's putting in the work to get there. Right now, out of these four, the one that will be leading is Brianna Williams in my mind, leading the pack. However, any one of these other three can come up and step into that frame. And as I said, they are our next generation. So they may not immediately make the individual team, but they may get a relay spot. That will give them some experience on the world level. And I mean senior level, right? And then now when the time comes, they'll be right there waiting to chomp and step into, Shelly's spot, Sharika's spot, Elaine's spot. And that's what I love about our women. We're not sitting down and waiting on them to retire to come back. That's what happened when Usain Bolt was around. When Usain Bolt was around, everybody was demotivated and said, "Well, Usain, I take over. There's no more hope for us. We can't make the team anyway. So why bother even try?" And then he leaves, he retires, and there's a huge gap, and there's nobody there to fill the gap. With the women, no such thing. So that's what I love. So I'm just laughing at the ones that are in the comment section laughing and saying, "Oh, we hype up every time, and the times aren't so fantastic." Yes, we hype them up because we know where them are go, right? So I'm excited. Can't wait to see.
Yes, T. So I think I somewhat agree with you relating to Brianna being slightly ahead of this four-person pack, the chase pack, and or the fact that it's just waiting. They're not really waiting, as you said, what they're doing, what they need to be doing to position themselves for making the team. So yes, I think Brianna does have a slight advantage. One thing I will say is that Tina, that tenacity that she has, she always seems to find the second, third, fourth, fifth gear when necessary. And it comes back to that same race that you were speaking about when everybody believed that Brianna Liston was in way better
We,
form. And by everybody, I mean you. I had Tina down to win. But
yeah,
yes.
you did. You had Brianna. You had Brianna. The videos are there on recording.
So, right. So everybody thought that Brianna was in better form and Tina found the extra gear. But for me, it is after that she keeps finding that extra gear when necessary. And I'll also agree with you in this first 60-meter outing. She probably felt that she had the field covered, and that was a slight mishap. Her second placement, she was doing just enough to win. So that just shows you where Tina is. She does not know how to lose. And for me, that factors, even with Brianna Williams having the advantage as far as like experience and times and I guess overall strength and form goes, that tenacity that Tina has, can't be discounted. So it will be interesting to see which one of these two. I feel like these are the big two in this group. This group in here, it's kind of weird. We need to get to Kemban where she falls in the midst because is she like an island? But it's like she's almost like an island
I think
somewhat.
Tina is sitting down. I think Tina is sitting down and smirking to herself and saying, on the thing never beat me, watch what I'm gonna show you. I think she thrives when she hears somebody say that somebody's gonna beat her. She's like, wait and see,
Right,
kind of thing. That's the vibe I get from her. So
right.
yeah, I agree with you. Um, those would be the big two, but I'm telling you, Tina looks very threatening, very, very threatening
After this one race, and I know a lot of trackers may say it's just one race, see
on a
some
race, yeah.
more, but this is her first time hitting an indoor track. You can tell a lot by one race. You can tell what an athlete is, what they're trying to achieve in a season. And she's now pro. She's trying to do something special this season. She's not wasting time. She's not waiting 3 years to develop. She wants something and she wants it
If she
now.
can oust one of the big guns, she will oust them.
Mhm. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So, trackies, tell us what you think in the comments section below. Or we just out of our minds thinking that Tina enters the conversation as it relates to snatching one of those spots on the Jamaican for 100-meter team. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Tam.
Auntie.
We'll catch you in another one.